So 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans spoke to the media Friday in Colorado Springs, and he delivered what was, to me, his most interesting quote to the media as 49ers defensive coordinator so far. Let's take a look. It's here from Cam Inman on the ground in Colorado Springs. DeMeco Ryans said, quote, "I could easily harp on all the negative things and plays that we didn't make, but that's not going to allow guys to come back, be confident, and make plays they're supposed to make. No energy vampires allowed. I want guys having fun, flying around, and being confident." Follow-up question was, what does energy vampire mean? Well, energy vampire is defined down here by DeMeco Ryans. Somebody who sucks energy out of the room, comes in moping or down, negative energy, not enjoying each day. We're all blessed with the days we're given. Live it to the fullest. No energy vampires allowed. You know, when Robert Saleh was the 49ers defensive coordinator, they had all gas, no brakes. They made it into wristbands, and it just became this mantra. And that energy really, really perpetuated itself throughout the entire 49ers locker room, really, not just the defense. When somebody like Quan Alexander embodied the mentality of all gas, no brakes, and then he made sure that he never used the word good. That was against the rules in his vocabulary. He always said legendary instead. And I feel that that spirit of positivity really permeated that team that went all the way to the Super Bowl. Well, I find that this quote from DeMeco Ryans and this philosophy from the 49ers defensive coordinator is related. No energy vampires allowed. He wants the 49ers to be thinking in positive terms, in aggressive terms. He wants them attacking on defense instead of reacting on defense. And the fact that DeMeco went into this much depth talking about that philosophy and then explaining what exactly constitutes an energy vampire, I think gives us a window into the makings of this 49ers defense, which has an awesome ceiling. Let's put this up here for you just to take a look at the performance of the 49ers defense so far this year. Remember, on these EPA charts, and for the defensive side of the ball, it is in terms of EPA per play allowed. You want to be further to the right and further up. So upper right-hand quadrant is where you want to be. The x-axis is drop back EPA allowed, so it's pass defense. Y-axis up and down is run defense EPA allowed. And look where the 49ers are, upper right quadrant. In fact, they might be the most sustainably positioned team in that upper right quadrant. We always talk about wanting to field a two-way offense, being able to run and pass the ball, but you also want to field a two-way defense. You want to be able to stop the pass and stop the run. And as you can see, the 49ers are good in pass defense. They're far above average to the right on the x-axis, but they're also significantly above the on the y-axis above the median in run defense. A team like Philadelphia over here, obviously really good in pass defense this year, but the run defense was lacking. And that's why the Eagles wanted Ndamukong Suh really badly to shore up that run defense. So the 49ers obviously want Eric Armstead to shore up the interior. They're waiting for him to come back, potentially for Javon Kinlaw to come back. And that might move the 49ers logo a little bit further up in terms of run defense. But I think that, you know, since they earned the right to rush the passer by stopping the run, what it will really do is move them diagonally up and to the right. As it stands right now, 49ers in EPA per play given up are ranked number 5. New England's the top defense in that metric. Then you have Denver. Then you have Philly, Dallas, and here are the 49ers. If we sort it by success rate, the 49ers are ranked number 2, behind only the Tennessee Titans, who had an impressive performance against the Green Bay Packers defensively at Lambeau Field on Thursday night. So the 49ers are doing some good stuff defensively under DeMeco Ryans. And I still think that their ceiling is impressively high because of the variance index that we've seen. The 49ers played 2 extremely poor games defensively against the Atlanta Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs. And those 2 performances came back to back. Before then, they had been borderline historically good, the 49ers had. And after that, they've been awesome, right? 58 total yards given up against the Rams in the second half, 52 total yards given up against the Chargers in the second half. They've really turned on the Jets over the past couple of weeks, but they were the worst defense in football against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons in weeks 7 and 8. Why were they that bad? Well, because of injuries, right? Injuries were the primary culprit there. But because of that poor performance, the 49ers DVOA variance index, which measures defensive volatility, is number 31 out of 32 teams. And I think that's actually really, really good news for the 49ers because that means that there's still a lot of production left to be attained in the tank. They still have a lot more that they can grab out of this if they can be more consistent than they obviously were. And that's hurting their scores in weeks 7 and 8. So to me, variance is something that indicates the 49ers defense is still significantly shy of its ceiling as far as efficiency this year. And putting this back up there, efficiency's been good. Top 5. I maintained at the start of the year that this could be a top 3 defense. And I think that by the time this is all said and done, it will be a top 3, maybe even a top 2 defense, because I don't think that we're going to see repeats of that Kansas City game or that Atlanta game, assuming that this defense stays decently healthy. I mean, one more thing. Let me show you this right here. This was my 49ers defense bye-week breakdown. Obviously, playing well at the edge positions. Blue is good. Red is bad. It's been worse, though, for the 49ers at the defensive tackle positions. That's where they hope that a return of Eric Armstead can help them get more. But for the time being, they've made up for so much of this with Fred Warner's blitzing. Look how good Fred Warner has been across the board this year. Lowest missed tackle rate of his career, best pass rushing productivity of his career. He's been an awesome blitzer. He's gotten skinny and he's so fast. And DeMeco Ryans, back to him, he's utilized Fred Warner to make up for that main 49ers weakness, the interior pressure from the defensive line. And Warner also allowing the lowest catch percentage of his career in coverage. So long story short, 49ers defense oozing with potential, and the results have already been pouring in. And a lot of this you can credit to DeMeco Ryans, who's made those adjustments, but perhaps even more importantly, has been out there making sure that this 49ers defense keeps the right mentality. He has not allowed energy vampires to seep into this unit. And because of that, they bounced back from those 2 rough injury-laden weeks.